Hello everyone, I am Randy Suarez, aka Silva, today back here with another amazing reaction. This time we're back with some more Abba and Preach, and we got an interesting one. They just dropped this like literally 3 hours ago. And I know what they're about to talk about, what they're about to technically review and react to. So I'm basically reacting to their reaction, but y'all here for all of that. But it's about the Pierce interview with Myron Gayness and a few other people on here. And let's just say one that had pretty damn bold. And let's put it this way. The title of the video is very telling. Rahcists are bold now. Which they've been bold. They're bolder now, apparently. So let's put it this way. Before we get into this video, I'm just saying, if you have these type of thoughts in general and views, you're fucked up. Period. But anyway, you like any of this content, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Like, comment, and subscribe to Abba and Preach. I will leave the original link to this video down below so you watch it uninterrupted. The link to my Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. You can follow me on those social platforms. Link to my Cashapp. Feel gracious enough to donate whatever you want to donate. That's fine. You don't, that's fine as well. Say thanks, do thanks. But by donating, like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff, however you show your support, lets me know you rock with the reaction content, rock with the channel, and rock with your boy. But further ado, buckle up and let's get started. Alright, we here with another Abba and Preach video, and you already know the title. Rahcists are getting bold, or bold now. Not getting, but they are getting bold. So, but anyway, I digress. But here we go.
I want to live in a country where people are allowed to say what they want unashamedly.
Okay.
Then go live there. Please. There are countries that are like that. Go live there. But we don't do that here. Sorry.
You should be ashamed. Shame is not a bad thing.
Yeah, shame is not.
In what world is it not shameful to look at a young kid, 5-year-old, who can barely talk?
And see, I know about that. Here's the weird thing. And a lot of people try to... I don't understand. People are legit condoning this lady's behavior. Giving money to this lady's behavior to protect her family. She's the one who jeopardized that for herself. I don't understand why people are giving her money and it's insane. And people trying to I know we're just sorry if I was paused this long. People are trying to compare this to the Kamala Hayes thing. That's totally different. Totally different.
And then call them a bunch of slurs. There's a trending story coming out now that...
Sorry, and also you calling a 5-year-old the hard ER. A African American, a black 5-year-old child, the hard ER, pointing the middle finger. He's 5! Alright, let's get to the
some lady who was at a park was slurring. Yeah, was using slurs against a 5-year-old black kid who's autistic, because I guess the...
You call him a child?
Did you? I totally forgot. Yes, he is a 5-year-old black autistic kid. 5. He's 5, and yet you're treating him like he's a grown-up. No. And yet people are condoning this behavior instead of shaming it. He's 5. He's a damn child. Get through the video.
Call the child the word? It is my own business. You call him Okay, why don't you have the balls to say it right now again?
After the fact, the video went viral. She claimed that her life was being severely impacted by it, so she made a GoFundMe, and it's raised over $500,000.
Yeah.
Okay? People want to draw parallels with other cases. There's a lot of stuff happening. But I want to play for you like a Pierce Morgan clip, because like people went online to either defend the lady or go against what she was doing, or the GoFundMe. And this is one of the ladies who was just there talking.
Why would you want to support a white racist?
Because I want to support free speech, and you cannot have free speech.
Listen. Yes, you do have free speech. But you don't have freedom from consequences. Especially when it comes to that's level of hate. And you don't have freedom for that.
In the country,
No, that's fine. You can support free speech, but you also have to be accountable for what you say. She is. I mean, would you use the N-word out of interest?
Yes.
You would.
Oh! Ooh, okay. Alright. Good thing I'm just reacting by myself because I showed my fiance this. She'll be pissed. And if you don't know, some of y'all don't know, yes, my fiance is white, but she also does. She's not that type of person to condone none of this shit.
Surprised Pierce doesn't know this because this girl went viral for doing that.
Yeah.
You know, she's one of those people who went viral on Twitter because she's like a white lady who likes saying the N-word a lot.
Everybody I know who's married right now, they're married to broke ass.
The fact that Pierce doesn't know what his guests are
He's
known
on the
for.
other side.
Yeah, that's
He's
weird.
on the other side.
That
But
is
no, he
weird.
brings on the guests. So he has like people that run through their background and find out what these people are about.
They don't always know.
Well, that's the basics.
I understand what
That's
you're
the
saying. I understand what you're saying. You're perfectly right. He should have known.
He should.
But in reality, yeah, whenever you go to these shows, like, they know the gist of it and go. It's not everybody that read all the notes and stuff like that. So
Yeah, that's
oh, really?
Yeah, but
Really?
this isn't even the bare minimum. Like, if I'm having a topic on wrestling, and the reason why this girl is known is it's like not knowing what the Hawk Tuah girl is known for when you interview her. That doesn't
real.
make sense to me. But
You're 100% right.
I do quite frequently.
You use the N-word quite frequently. Well, why? Other than the fact you're a despicable rape? Are you?
Some would say I am.
If you use the N-word repeatedly, you are a racist then, are you?
Myron's like, she's hot.
Sorry,
question. Here's the thing. I do not, and I repeat, I do not know why Myron's on here. That's confusing. His opinion for a guy who got himself demonetized, him and his partner, Fresh, literally, you know what? I digress. Keep on with the video. The videos are going to be long enough.
to be clear, you just said to me you use the N-word regularly. In what context? Do you use it with black people?
Yes, if it's appropriate.
When would it be appropriate
uses
to
it
use the
about
N-word?
black people.
When would it be appropriate?
Not serious.
Anytime I feel like it.
So you're an unashamed rape.
Correct.
Well, do you understand that makes you a despicable human being?
Yeah.
I guess so. I don't really care. I mean, why are we not talking about Shiloh Hendricks? Why are we talking about?
Well, actually, I think
different
you've moved it on in this debate very quickly to your own, which explains why you've supported her in public and why you've got all these views. You see no problem with a woman shrieking the N-word repeatedly because you yourself are a.
Also, people forget she's saying this to a artistic five-year-old child. Have we no shame? Have we fallen so low that people are willing to say stuff like this and defend this to a person who's doing this to a 5-year-old child, a 5-year-old autistic child? Because at the end of the day, to me personally, it does not matter if he's black or what. Doing this in general is heinous. Doing this, and the point that you basically do it because he's the Shiloh did say all that to a black artistic child, even worse.
Despicable rape. And you've just proudly admitted that with a smug grin on your face, which is pretty horrifying, actually,
Yes.
for most people to have to watch. And shame on you. You're entitled to do it, and I'm entitled to call you despicable.
Oh, okay, but
Yeah. Then why
she
is she
don't
on
care.
here though?
You can repeat it. She don't give a damn. Yeah, there's gonna be people. I'd rather like that. To be honest with you, I know it's maybe gonna be a hot take, but I'd rather see people like that, cause I know what the hell I'm dealing with.
True.
And I know
I
what not to do with that
yeah.
person ever.
Yep.
I know that. They post it. They say it. They like, this what I am, this what I don't like. They're not trying to please people, and then you end up working with them, and then you find out later, and then they've been backstabbing you. No, that person is upfront. I'm not commending what she's doing or how she's thinking, but for my safety and for what I know, okay, that person is a racist. I know how to handle that, which means I'm not going there. I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. I'm not fucking that with someone else's dick. It's just that the racism that we have right now, the racism that we have right now is very...
Awesome.
We don't know. It's like, I'm always like, am I sure? It's always speculation. Now I know. It's clear. That person is like that.
Yeah.
So you see somebody racist, and your first thought is, oh, I'm just glad they're open about it?
I'm just glad. It's crazy. There's nothing I can do about it. You know what I mean? But at least they are exposing what they are.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to deal with someone like you don't know you're doing service to someone and you're like, you're interacting with some people and you're unsure about that person, but you.
It's like when someone said, "I'm not racist," but and ended with the word "but," or not trying to be racist, but it's one of those things. Like, dude, if just say if you're or you're not. It does not matter. Well, it matters, to be honest. It does matter because if you don't say anything, if you say X or Y, the end of the word "but" onto it. It's going to be either one or two things, either be really positive or really negative. And 9 out of 10 is mostly negative.
And I really, I can't pinpoint it.
You understand that's all you said. All you really just said right now is, I'm glad that she's out and she's saying what she's saying.
I said, at least I'm glad that she's out. I'm not
said anything else about it.
No, I said I'm not happy that she's doing that. There's nothing much.
Okay.
What are you getting at? I'm not understanding.
I just think it's interesting that you're seeing someone who's unabashedly racist and out here endorsing the idea of calling a young kid a 5-year-old, the N-word a bunch of times, and all you really had to say so far is, I'm glad she's open about it. That's pretty much most of what you said.
Yes, yeah, that's pretty much what I said. But I mean, of course, c'est sous-entendu que it's not good.
I mean, yeah, it's not good. But what I think I was not really understanding as much as like what Preacher's trying to say. Oh, good that you admit it. It's bad, but at least you know that you admit it. And the thing is, it's the point that I will gladly drive home with this. It's going back to what I said earlier. I do not understand why people are condoning it. Giving money for someone who says these things and expect. Again, when did we went this low? And she's a parent, by the way. And that's daunting. You're going to teach your kid that she had in her arms, stuff like that, because she gonna make that normalized in your home.
Of course, it's not a great thing. I'm not happy that she did that. It's crazy that she did that, but she did something that's not legal. Legally, you can't do much about that thing. It just goes back to. I'm probably the problem, to be honest with you. Like it just reminded me of how things were back then, and when I was playing it. Like when you were playing in the park, you would encounter these people. Like you would encounter these people, and you would go in a park. You would be groups apart, and then there would be altercation with people that didn't like you because of the way that you look. At least either not to go to the park or at least fight back. But that's when we were kids. Things kind of change while being an adult, and I wouldn't even know how to handle that. I don't even know how to handle that. I'm happy I know where to stand. That's the thing, is that there's been so many years that you didn't know. You're always you're claiming something, and everybody's saying no, it's not that. And you're like, no, I'm pretty sure it's that. I got signs, but I can't clearly tell you. But it's really the feelings that I got. I'm not saying I'm super happy about what she did. Again, I'm not. I'm just saying. That's clear. We have that clarified. This is happening. That little boy, it's really unfortunate that it happened. That a little boy has autism. Unfortunately, he's going to be live and you're going to encounter people like that. It's really unfortunate. It's really bad. But you know what? I don't have an answer to this, and I don't even know what to do in those cases. And I don't even know what is the thing. What is the thing to do? What I have to say? Because after the 43 years of me in my life, I feel like I've been talking about it. I've been on shows. I've been talking about it. I've been talking to people about it, talking against it and stuff like that. I've been doing all these things. Not that nothing is done. It's very slow. And I know all these things take a lot of time. But really, I'm asking you, Dan, what is to be done? You got that person in the park doing that and saying that, which is the police is going to show up and be like, well, shit, don't do that. Or else we're going to.
Unless you get one of those cops like, hey, why are you talking to this? Here's the thing, to me personally, yes, what she did in technical terms with Freedom Street, is it wrong in Freedom? But it's the moral. What she doing was horrific wrong. That's what I'm saying, bringing shame. That's shameful, what she did. Very much so. And people are condoning that. And the point, instead of calling what it is shameful, you doing that to a 5-year-old. Why wouldn't, seriously? And the point that she's a parent, that's even more concerning.
Come back and slap you back on the wrist and then leave again. Person's not harassing. the kid. She's just saying blah, 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 blah. When the person came back and confronted her, I saw a video, she's leaving, and then she keep asking the questions. Like, okay, I understand the confrontation. But there's nothing, I don't feel like there's much more that you could do about that, except what we're doing and what they're doing. Talking about it, and after that, people are going to choose a side. My point of what I'm saying, I'm glad she's showing, at least she's saying it's really just a part of the whole life that I've been through. Is I'm happy that shit is clear and I can clearly say, hi bitch, okay. I'm not crazy. You are that, you claim that you're that, you're not like trying to hide behind something, you're saying that. So I know that when I see you, you're a giant red flag, I'm not gonna interact with you. But I'm not happy she said that, you know what I mean?
No.
And I guess my point wasn't that I think you're happy she said that. I'm asking you what it is that you feel. What is it you actually think? That's all. And I think now I understand a lot better. I was just saying I only got one glimpse of it, and I get where you come from. I don't disagree.
Sure. It's just the rest was very, of course, you know what I mean? Duh.
I mean, it's okay to say what's of course, because you know what? Common sense is not common to everybody.
Sure.
And sometimes until they hear it from you, they don't know how you feel.
Sure.
You know?
Sure.
So that's one of the ones where better to explain the things instead of assuming that people understand it.
Yeah.
You know, I follow trends and stuff like that sometimes, like with the clothes and stuff like that. I like things that look good and that in the moment. I never in my life bought Doc Martens. And my mom back in the days bought me like the low Doc Martens, and they were not the real ones, right? But even then, since then, I had PTSD because I was told when I was in school that I couldn't wear that because I was black. And some black people, when I came in, and when I went in a black school, they all said like, "Oh shit, nah, B, that's a no." And I still get PTSD when I see high-rise Doc Martens, especially if you got white laces. It does something to me. If you got a Blummer jacket, EBGBs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I used to fight those people. We used to walk around with our belts around our knuckles. And then it switched to people being scared of just saying it. They were that. But saying they had to fucking not say it in order to be able. But now I'm not glad. I'm not like, the good old days of racism. It's not that. It's just that.
It's easier to identify.
Yeah,
at least I know what to deal with.
I want to live in a country where people are allowed to say what they want unashamedly, and you will
go
not
on then,
have
say it. Say
you
the
will
M.
not have
Go on,
free
say.
speech.
Go on, say the M.
I don't know why Pierce is baiting her to go say it. I mean, it doesn't solve nothing. It's just gonna piss off a lot of more people. I mean, yeah, it paints a target on her back, which is already a target on her back per se, for her openly saying that she is a racist. And trust me, I think the dude in the middle, the black guy, is about to get pissed off.
Go on.
No. Don't invite. No. I don't want you to invite this woman to say a racially harmful term in front of me, because I'm the only here. So if she says it, I'm the victim of it. So please don't invite her for rating to call me the N-word, because that's basically what it's going to be.
I agree with that. Yeah. I don't want you to start telling other people to call me a because then I'm gonna look at you crazy. I understand what Pierce is saying. It's like, oh, if you're really that, then just come out and say it. But
no, it's circular.
But no.
Just the fact that she said I'm comfortable into saying it, you don't have to say it.
There's a bunch of white people.
By saying that, you already got your confirmation that literally she is a racist, you don't mind saying it, why invite her to say it publicly again? You technically already did. So what's the point? This is the reason why I always tell people this. I don't understand when it comes to news or anything and stuff like this. I do not understand, because at the end of the day, it doesn't solve anything to me personally. Because it feels like everyone get riled up and everyone's pissed off and everything. Like, yeah, I understand emotions can get high, but stuff like this, like, I'm like, look, I like to think something much more better than this. But I did choose to react to this video, so yeah.
You and one Uncle Tom on the left here, and to ask her to say the N-word.
Facts. He's an Uncle Ruckus, bro.
Yeah.
This dude, I've never heard someone who let it like throatingly slip that they want to be white so bad, other than Myron Gaines.
Notice for black dudes, they don't like doing that shit. White guys, we're all like, I said we.
He's white.
He's white,
Read
Justin.
this caption out loud.
The boys plus our token.
Oh,
Golly.
damn.
What the f? I heard that some of y'all were raising the salute, so I decided to come back.
Uncle Ruckus never slipped in his knife.
You know.
Maybe one time she was a white lady. Her name was Roxanne.
And to ask her to say the N-word while I'm here is ridiculous. You would not sit here with a Jewish person and say, please use a Jewish slur in front of this Jewish. It's ridiculous. I understand you don't have any bad intent, Pierce. I understand what you're trying to do. But we already know she's racist. And I don't want to invite a racial harm to me.
I hear you, and I accept that, and we'll leave it there.
Shout out to Pierce. At least he accepted it. Okay.
Yeah.
At least.
She said something. I said, hold up. Let me just make sure I got her words right. I want to play it back.
Never. I want to live in a country where people are allowed to say what they want unashamedly.
Okay. You should be ashamed. Shame is not.
And like I said in the beginning, go to the places that you should be able to say where the hell you want. They do exist. But over here, it's very much so very much so shameful. Even then, the places that it does that, we'll still find this kind of shameful. And that's the weird thing.
Bad thing. Not always. You should feel shame. You should feel shame for looking at a 5-year-old who went through your diaper bag and then calling them a bunch of slurs. Absolutely. The idea that this is somehow some kind of virtue is crazy. I don't know. Twitter is basically the place where a bunch of adults go to be edgy teens and essentially use every slur in the book because they think it makes them cool, and they talk about like it's a fashion of free speech. Listen, I have no problem with people wanting to be able to say these things anywhere they want to say them. Fine, say it. But don't act like it's some virtue that you're saying it all the time. No, you just want to be edgy, and you think it's cool to be yelling slurs every single day, every minute. That's all it is. Yeah. Now, going back to the original lady, right, when we were talking about the topic of shame, the idea that she's going to make $500,000 from this incident and everyone supporting her, you know, these are a lot of the incidents that make me super comfortable with saying I will never be a conservative in my life. You will never, ever. When I'm seeing all these conservative creators donating to our thing, talking about, oh, we just want to be able to take our place back. And
Same. Like I always tell people this, when it comes to politics in general, I'm not either conservative or a liberal. I'm just one to live life the best way I can. Period. And it's one of those things. I just really don't have time for hate. I really don't, and it seems like that's what it feels like to me personally. Like unnecessary hate, like very much so. And like, who hurt you? I'm like, and this is coming from a guy that had a hard time making friends. Now that I have a crap ton of friends, having fans, doing stuff like this, why would I spread negativity when I can spread positivity? You know?
So let me... growing up, for me, a conservative person embodied a lot of traditional values. They embodied the ideas of chivalry. They embodied the ideas of being well-mannered, of being God-fearing, a lot of these good things that I thought, in a lot of ways, could be very good. Okay? And we get to 2025, and it's just like, say the most offensive things you can at every point. Have the biggest potty mouth possible. If you get a chance, yell at children and call them all kinds of slurs. It's so bizarre to me how much that is flipped, right? Yes. They used to say the irrational, crazy ones were the basically SJW types, and now you have grown women yelling at 4-year-olds slurs because they went through a diaper bag. It is crazy how things have changed. But then to have conservative creators in mass defending a lot of this nonsense, it's just like, oh yeah, that's why I'll never be anywhere near this shit. And for all the people who be like, oh, you guys are the dumb, you will have to be a fucking idiot to sit there alongside these creators who basically look at you as third-class citizens. You know what? I bet you anything if these motherfuckers somehow they keep you Negroes as slaves. That's what I really believe. Because the way that they talk about y'all is nuts. And they don't even do it in hiding. You know, watching Myron sit up there and talk about, oh, you know, we have to take back our country. And then having the whites look him dead in the eyes and be like, yeah, but when we do, you means you got to leave.
Myron, you were in my space the other day. And I said, you know, you're doing a great job calling out these Jews. But, you know, if we take this country back, we want it for white folks. And would you go home? And you said, I was born here and I'm not going anywhere. And this is where I think the problem is with working with non-whites is that once you think you help us, that you're just going to stay in our country. Do you still stand? Why do you Browns think you could stay in my country? This is the issue with whites working with non-whites.
We're over here talking about a problem, then you bring it right back into, you know, this whole white thing. Like, dude, shut the fuck up.
This whole white thing is what built...
Why would I ever...
And he's still trying to defend it.
And he's still trying to defend it. It's like, they don't want y'all there, but y'all be begging for scraps. It's crazy. So... this kind of stuff, when I see the whole GoFundMe, all this other stuff, it's just more reason to stray away from all these conservative folks because you recognize that a lot of the things that they embody don't have space for people that look like me. And I have to say very clearly, they're going to say otherwise, they can yap about it, but until they start condemning the people who say all that nutty shit, I don't want to hear it. Until I start seeing creators on that side of the spectrum coming out and actively speaking about that, the way they speak about fucking blue-haired feminists that nobody really cares about, I don't want to hear it.
Funny thing about what you just said is that it's crazy because they're fighting it like when they finally take over the country, you're going to have a special place in the house.
For real.
And we need to have a majority of white people, and white people need to be running America.
You're not going to be in the fields. You're going to be in the house. They're going to shoot you back in the field. They don't want you in the house.
You guys should feel shame. Absolutely.
Yeah,
shame
definitely
is a good
feel shame.
Shame means that you're not living to the values that you profess to have, or not living in a way that's becoming of the bare minimum of somebody who's part of society. Yeah, you should feel shame. You're out here talking about, I want to moon kids, or I want to yell slurs at kids. You should feel shame. In what world is it not shameful to look at a young kid who can barely talk and then call them a bunch of slurs trying to destroy their self-esteem? Are you mad? Of course you should feel shame.
Yeah.
You should feel shame for donating to that fucking thing too.
For real.
Absolutely. And I don't want to hear this is equivalent to like the whole, the whole case with the stabbing. There's no relation to it. If you feel the need to donate to some, just because there's a self-defense claim that's being funded somewhere else, these things are not parallel at all. They're not analogous. You can say, I don't agree with that kid, what he did to that man, and stabbing, killing him, he deserves to go to jail. Fine. Why are you donating to contrast? Why? Because people did a GoFundMe for his legal fund? To me, it's so bizarre what I'm watching. And to watch grown adults try to convince me these things are the same, or that, because one person or these people did bad, I'm going to go and yell at a 5-year-old and support people. So you guys just basically said it's great to go up to kids and yell whatever you want at them. That's what
Pretty much, yeah. That's basically what they said. And that's the one thing I said I don't understand. It's like why people are comparing these two incidents that are totally different, and yet they compare like it's the same. No, it's not. One for legal fees. One is literally funding a freaking racist mom who basically doesn't care that she's racist.
Understand that you should go up to kids, and if you want to call them the most foul things as an adult, that we're going to financially support you if you have any backlash for that.
They do understand what shame is. They're just hypocrite about it. Because they're the same people that say, oh, we need to bring back... That is their version of shame. They want people to be ashamed of... You have to be ashamed of certain... So they do understand it. But they don't understand it when it doesn't fit with what they feel. You understand what I'm saying? So it's just being hypocrite about the shame thing. They understand that. They want to apply it to others, but not to them. They want to have a lack of accountability with the shame as well.
Yeah. I will say... Also, people on the right are much better about being loyal to each other, irrespective of what the other people do. Because you don't see leftist creators will spend a lot of time talking about trans people, talking about how crazy a lot of this shit is. Very comfortable. I mean, I've done it on this channel for the longest time period. And then I realized at one point, I was like, oh, while we might do that in terms of talking about what's going on our end of the spectrum, did you ever see them spend time talking about racism?
No.
I don't think I've ever seen them condemn it a single time.
No.
I will never ever endorse a movement that means that me, my kids, my community would be exiled out of here or treated as second-class citizens. If that's what you're about, you can get the fuck up out of here too. So when I see this goofy shit online, it's getting more and more popular, hey man, keep that shit away from me. But that's all for me.
That's all for me.
Yeah? You don't want to say nothing about the Lady of the Kids?
I said what I said, bro.
Okay.
Like, I'm not fazed by anything, and you're going to say, well, you're not fazed by anything anyway.
That's facts.
But I've seen a lot of these. It's the same shit repeating itself. You understand what I'm saying? If we walk in the street, right? We walk in the street in Brazil, and you see someone with a gun, you're gonna be like, huh? No, you see, I've seen that. I've seen that before. We were in Haiti. There's some fucked up shit that happened. It's like, yo, you went what? Yo, I've been through shit like that. Not that you were unfazed, but you were like, I know what this is. I know what this is. I know the way they're looking at me. The way you looked at me and you said, like, hey, if they jump here and you jump over, that the mechanism that you had is because you've seen this shit before. So it's not so much that I'm not phased about a lot of shit. It's just, I've seen shit. I've seen that. This whole situation screamed 1988, 1993. It's that. And I was 6. It's very familiar. That's it.
All right. Well, let us know what you think in the comments below.
Let's put it this way. Like I said, if people are condoning this type of behavior, funding it, to be honest, get out. Just get out. Or at least be honest with yourself that you are condoning this behavior. Then get the hell out. Because what are you doing? People forget, yes, this behavior is unacceptable. Much so that she did this to a 5-year-old child. Then the whole Pierce thing and look, it's just one of those things. I'm like, yes, we all gonna have differences. That is fine. But please, for the love of God, shame behavior like this. Because behavior like this, we're past that. We're not in the 50s anymore. We're not in the 60s. We're not in the 40s. Why are we... You know what? Before I get even hot, I'm just gonna calm down and think about something else. And if y'all like any of this content, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Like, comment, and subscribe to Alba and Breach. I will leave the original link to this video down below to watch it uninterrupted. And I'm gonna hug my fiance for quite some time. So, the next time, please take care of yourself. Stay hydrated, stay safe, stay warm. Peace out.
And little questions is everything they know about you. No way.